Welcome to our English segment today, which is the Dream segment. Rwanda is a country that gives opportunities to their fellow young Rwandese, but also to the young people from across other countries. So today, that is why we are together with Ujo Nwachkwu Daniel. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Yes, so for your information, Ujo is a student but also an entrepreneur. How does it go together? Let's explore his journey today. How are you again?
I'm all right. And you?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay, thank you. And let's just go so fast to your experience here in Rwanda. How is it?
I love Rwanda, honestly. It's a cool country, calm, kind of meets my vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, but I also love the way everything is orderly and easily accessible, right? So starting up a business, getting permissions for whatever you want,
Yes.
It's kind of easy, relatively easy to most other countries in Africa. So I really love it here.
Yes. When did you get in Rwanda before?
When I get into Rwanda? 2020, so May 2022.
And you was here just for the purpose of the business, or you was here for the purpose of studying?
For studies.
Which university?
African Leadership University.
How is it so far? How does it go together in the first place? Because when we hear from the overview of other people, they say that it is a bit challenging to be a student in a university which is not from your country, but also in another country, and then you're going to be mixing it up together with being a business person. How does it go together?
I think first of all, it's stressful, right? It's pretty challenging. But I think I also got the opportunity to be at LU, which kind of empowers such activities, business, entrepreneurship, and all of that. But I think generally, I also tried doing business in Nigeria while I was in university. It was so kind of challenging. But I think Rwanda specifically, the systems that have been in place and also the university kind of makes things a little bit more easy compared to when I was in Nigeria.
Yes. And how is it challenging? What are the challenges that you face today?
I mean, first of all, navigating the kind of juggling between school and business kind of is pretty challenging. And also, being a student, you don't really have much access, facilities, resources, and all of that. So it's also kind of challenging. In my case, I was studying, working, and also doing business to be able to try to keep up, survive, and all of that. So it was pretty challenging, first in terms of getting the money to start up, also in terms of getting access into certain opportunities, resources, and all of that, right? So.
Sure. And how about being a business person in a country which is not your home country? How about the language barrier? How about the challenges that you meet? How are it?
Okay, so the language barrier is a challenge, honestly. Getting on the motor, relating with some locals and all of that is kind of a challenge. But staying for 3 years kind of helps you to adapt at some point. But the cultural difference is kind of like a big, not so much of a big gap, but there's a gap between what you experience in Nigeria versus what you experience here, right? But I think the challenges are not so much compared to when I was in Nigeria, probably because of my experience in Nigeria. I'm used to being alone and being able to figure things out for myself.
Yes.
But yeah, I think the challenges are there, but with time, you get to like ride the wave and all of that.
Sure. Speaking of the language barrier, do you have any words of Kinyarwanda that you know?
Yeah, not one or two.
Like what? Like what?
Murakoze, I know some of the prizes like Chatanu, Mirisensa.
Chatanu, what is that?
1-5. Come on.
Wow. Okay, speaking of this business still, what is your sort of business? Is it maybe from IT? Is it maybe from in the medical sector? What kind of your business is it?
It's kind of in this intersection between health and food, specifically nutrition, right? When we started off, we wanted it to be solely focused on IT, which is more like a platform for people to be able to get access to the meals they crave. The name is Cravings, right? But we quickly pivoted to more of healthcare because of some of my personal experiences. And also I felt like that is where the main challenge was, especially in Rwanda.
Yes.
Right, so now we're intersecting between healthcare and food, which is more nutrition, and how we can be able to simplify nutrition for the common individuals.
Yes, as for me, as my personal case, I'm not a good nutritionist. Does it go together with what you're studying in ALU?
Not exactly. I'm just studying the business aspect of things, right? And I think people normally ask me these questions. Whenever they hear me to nutrition, they ask me, did I study it?
Exactly.
And I'm like, no, I did not study it. But I think the angle I'm trying to come from is not from a doctor's perspective trying to solve the problem of a patient, but more like a patient trying to develop a solution for himself, right? So the way I say it is that before I don't eat healthy, right? And I saw it as a challenge. Eating healthy is really a challenge, like nutrition is really ambiguous, right? So my perspective was if I could solve this problem for me, then a lot of people could also assess it and also use it as a solution for themselves.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how I'm going about it.
And how does it go? I just want to get your experience. Where did the idea of becoming a business person while you're already studying your university studies, where did the idea come?
I've always wanted to go into business from Nigeria. But coming to Rwanda, I wanted to study it more, like dive deeper into business, learn how to navigate the entrepreneurial landscapes and all of that. And I always knew that I was going to start my own business at some point, studying here in Rwanda. It was just a matter of what will I venture into? Was it fashion, food, whatever, right? So when I came here, the first thing I noticed was food. I think that was a major shift I noticed, right?
So you're a food person?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So in Nigeria, you get a lot of diverse meals, right? From the soups, stews, rice, all of those things, right? But I felt like in Rwanda, it was kind of limited, right? So that kind of gave me the idea of what to start with, right? Because I felt like it was a big challenge to me and to my friends at that time, right? So I was like, if I could solve this challenge, it will be a big way to start or get into business here in Rwanda, right? So that's where the idea came from, and that's what motivated me to start here in Rwanda.
One message for the country that gave you an opportunity to be in the education sector, at the same time in the business sector, please.
One what, sorry?
One word for the country that gave you the opportunity to be in the two sectors, business and education.
One word. Kudos.
Wow. And I mean, I just want you to, let's talk about getting maybe the licenses of the documents that permits you to be in business, because you was here in the first place as a student, right?
Yeah. Till today, I'm still kind of shocked to how easy it is, right? When I first registered the business, it took, I think, 3 to 7 days. I know I got it that same week, right? But before I got it, I kind of hesitated for like 2-3 months to get the registration done. I know there was a lawyer that was shouting at me like, I should go and register. Like, why am I not registered? I'm like, from where I come from, you don't just register a business like that. You need to take your time, that kind of stuff. It takes a process. But when I finally did it, I discovered how easy and simple it was. Like, there was nothing much to it, right? And I really loved that. And also some other licenses to operate as in the tourism sector and other things I needed to get was relatively easy, which kind of motivated me to continue and go ahead with it, right? So I think that's a big part of the system that kind of boosts entrepreneurs in Rwanda, like me, to come to Rwanda and be able to strive and be able to develop and create amazing ideas on products.
Yes, and as a conclusion, I would like you to give a message to the young people from Rwanda, from across the countries, Africa, America, all the continent. I would like to know what message you'd like to give them, because you're a student, but you're also carrying out business activities in your free time. What message would you like to give to them?
I think one thing that has helped me throughout my experience is clarity. Right, especially today, like there's so many distractions in social media, in your current life, day to day, and all of that. There's a lot to juggle between and all of that. So I feel one thing that's helped me is clarity of mind, right? What to focus on, why am I doing this and what should I do at the moment, right? That clarity of mind will be able to make me to strategically focus on specific things and know what I'm doing in that thing, right? To be able to push it forward and be able to make significant progress with it.
Yes. Well then, that was Ujo Nwachkwu Daniel, a Nigerian student but also entrepreneur here in Rwanda. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for sharing your experience here in Rwanda and also to empower the young people to be multitask. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Yes.